A wealthy man stared intently at the seductive young woman. The atmosphere was hot, and after a few drinks he took off his coat, trembling with excitement. Faced with such an alluring pair of big, captivating eyes, a surge of desire overtook him. The young woman instantly understood his intentions and thoughtfully removed his glasses. Since the following scenes were too intense, it's best to watch them alone. The two had an unforgettable night together. The next morning, the wealthy man woke up groggily, only to find that the young woman had disappeared. Meanwhile, the woman had just returned to her rented apartment, already plotting her next move. It turned out she was a top-tier gold digger looking to extract money from the rich man. She had been secretly observing him with binoculars, recording his daily habits. Her patience finally paid off using her skillful flirting techniques, stunning beauty, and an alluring figure. She managed to catch his attention while selecting wine. At first sight, the wealthy man was already interested in her, unable to take his eyes off her. Sensing the time was right, the woman played hard to get. She stood outside the supermarket in the freezing winter, wearing only a short skirt and a white blouse, shivering from the cold. The wealthy man saw this as his opportunity to play the hero and immediately offered to drive her home. Though she verbally declined, her actions said otherwise as she got into his luxury car. As expected, one thing led to another, and they spent another passionate night together. The wealthy man, who had been single for 50 years, was hooked. Wanting to see her again, he visited the cafe where she worked and even signed up for a lifetime membership just to be close to her. Seeing that he had fully taken the bait, the woman felt ecstatic. While they were together, she naturally held onto his arm. They had planned to spend another night together, but an unexpected encounter with a car thief changed everything. The wealthy man bravely stepped forward to protect his car, but his actions angered the thief. He ended up getting injured and Thief was left with a limp. Now he needed someone to take care of him. Initially, he planned to hire a nurse, but the woman suggested, "Why hire someone when you can just hire me? Plus, I can keep you entertained at night." The wealthy man thought it made sense, so she went back home to pack her things. With her stunning long legs, it was impossible for any man to resist her charm. To make things easier for her, the wealthy man even gave her the password to his mansion. At that moment, she had successfully upgraded her status from a struggling woman in a rented apartment to living in a luxurious mansion. Returning to her best friend's apartment, she packed quickly and prepared to say goodbye. In reality, she had been using her friend all along because that apartment was the perfect spot to spy on the rich man's house. Now that she had successfully moved up, it was time to execute the next phase of her plan. Before making her final move, she made sure to please the wealthy man once more. Once he fell asleep, she stole his phone and used facial recognition to unlock it. Technology truly does change lives. His phone could control everything in the mansion. Meanwhile, the police received a report from the landlord of the rented apartment. The woman's best friend had been found dead in the bathtub, appearing to have committed suicide by slitting her wrists. The authorities broadcasted the news to gather more clues. The wealthy man happened to see the report and was shocked by how familiar the deceased looked. After thinking for a moment, he realized she was the young woman's best friend. He had even seen a picture of them together. Shortly after, the young woman returned to the mansion, looking unusually cheerful. Confused, the wealthy man asked, "Your best friend just died, and you're this happy." She calmly ate her fried chicken and replied, "Scott, you should probably contact the police." "That would be stupid of me." And man say, "Why?" Women said, "Because I'm the one who killed her." The wealthy man was stunned. The woman openly confessed to the crime. She had originally planned to use her friend Lisa, but Lisa had fallen in love with her. On the day of the move, Lisa tried to stop her and even threatened to expose her plan to the rich man. Left with no choice, the young woman killed her. Hearing this, the wealthy man was horrified. He had thought he was enjoying the company of a beautiful woman, only to realize she was a ruthless murderer. He demanded that she leave his house immediately, but she showed no fear. As the door shut behind her, the wealthy man's heart sank. He had thought he was bringing home a young, beautiful woman for fun, not realizing he had invited a wolf into his home. Now she controlled the entire mansion. The injured man was helpless like a tiger with no teeth, easily pushed down and tightly bound. Even as he struggled, his sharp tongue didn't stop running. The woman then used his fingerprints and verification codes to unlock his accounts and emptied half of his life savings. Lust leads to disaster. He desired her body, but she was only after his wealth.